Let's see the Empire in action. Empire has its own shell-like command line interface. As of this video capturing, Empire has 282 modules. First, let's start by typing the help command to display the help. Now I'm going to show you how to use Empire Project step by step. First step, create a listener. Listeners in Empire are the channels which receive connections from our target machines. It's similar to the listeners in Metasploit Framework. Before we do anything in Empire, we need to start the listeners. Type listeners to enter the listener management state. As you see, the shell prompter changes as Empire:listeners. Once we move to the listener's management state, we can see its options by typing the help command. Let's take a look at some of the commands of the listener state. Info is to display information about the active listener. Now you think it's the same as the show options command of Metasploit. Kill is to kill a particular listener. List is to list all the active listeners. Use listener is to use one of the listener modules of Empire. Use stager is to use one of the available stagers. We'll see that on the next step. Let us now look at how to start a listener module in Empire. Type the use listener command, put a space character, and press tab twice to see the listeners available in Empire. There are 7 different listeners listed. Let's use the HTTP listener as an example. Type use listener HTTP and press enter. Now the same as with the Linux bash, you can use the tab button to complete any particular keyword. Here, press tab in the middle of the word instead of writing the entire word. Again, the shell prompt has changed as Empire:listeners/HTTP. Help command now displays the commands of this state. As you see, some of the commands are the same with the previous menu, but there are some different commands here. The info command shows the options of the particular type of listener we want to start. The set command is used to assign the values of the options. Similarly, the unset command is used to clear these values. Every listener requires certain options to be set. For example, when you run info command, you see that the HTTP listener needs the host and port values to be configured. An important warning here, in Empire, commands are case sensitive. That means if the name of an option is name with an uppercase N, you have to use its exact same style. Name with a lowercase has a different meaning for Empire. Default values are set for the options. IP addresses of your current system is set as the host, and 80 is set as port. The default name of the listener is set as HTTP. Change the values if you want using set command. I want to change the listener name as my HTTP listener. When all options are set, we can start the listener using the execute command. When we go back to the main menu using the main command or back command twice, we see that we have now one active listener. The second step is using stagers. Now in here it's better to explain the stager and stage concepts of the exploitation world. Stagers set up a network connection between the attacker and the victim and are designed to be small and reliable. Stages are payload components that are downloaded by stager modules. The various payload stages provide advanced features with no size limits such as meterpreter, VNC, injection, or shell. Stagers in Empire are used to set the stage for the post-exploitation activities. They're similar to payloads, which are used to create a connection back to Empire. Type use stager, put a space character, and press tab twice to see all of the available stagers. Let's start the launcher stager as an example. A stager will generate a command ready to launch in command line terminal CMD. Type use stager multi/launcher command to load the stager. Shell prompter changes as the name of the stager we chose. If you type help now, you see the commands of the stager state. Use generate or execute to generate a stager. Set and unset to set and unset values to particular options. Interact to interact with a particular agent which is normally used when there are multiple listeners. Type info to see the information about the stager and the options to be set. Now let's set the options to be able to generate the stager. We need to set a listener in order for the stagers to be able to communicate with Empire. In the last step, we already created a listener. Let us set this listener for our launcher stager. Type set listener my HTTP listener for this purpose. If you gave another name to your listener, use that instead of my HTTP listener. And once again, don't forget that Empire is case sensitive. Leave the other options as default for now. Run execute or generate command to generate the stager. The stager has created a command ready to be launched in the command line terminal. The third step, using agents. When we set the stager to our target system and the machine engages with it, we get a reverse connection back. This is known as an agent. In our example, let's run the generated command into the victim's command line terminal window. Now, there are a few different methods to start a terminal screen in Windows OS. You can press Windows plus R to start the Run dialog box, type Command in the dialog box, and hit Enter. Or you can type Command CMD in Windows Start menu. Windows will find you the tool. Or you can try to find the Command Prompt tool inside the All Applications menu, which I honestly don't remember. Copy the generated command, paste it in the command prompt of the victim's system. Command prompt disappears when the command is executed. Go back to Kali. As you can see, we have a new agent. Type main to go back to the main screen of Empire. We see that we have an agent. Type agents to go to agents. Use interact command with the agent ID. You're now in a session of the victim system. Type help to see the commands you can use. For example, type info to see the entire information of the victim system. Or type SC to take a screenshot, etc.